I'm with our special guest and he will introduce himself. So sir, please introduce yourself na po.
Okay, so I'm Denni, pure Chinese born in Philippines.
So Sir Dennison, a lot of viewers po and commentators in our YouTube channel request to make a short vlog regarding one of our Mandarin successful hire po. So Sir, is it okay if you will introduce yourself in Mandarin and in Hokkien language so that we can know the difference between the two languages?
Okay, so in Mandarin, 我叫陈冠中. So in Hokkien, we can also use direct translator. That's it.
So Mandarin and Hokkien language. So sir, I would like to ask them po, Mandarin and Hokkien language, your parents po ba ask you to study po, or they require po ba to study the both language po?
So for Hokkien language, it is a natural language for us, and we use it on our daily basis when we communicate with our parents, relatives, or even our grandparents. And for Mandarin, I started learning Mandarin right when I was in school. So at that time, when I started learning, my father guided me since he's more proficient with it compared to my mother. So as of right now, I use Mandarin just sometimes between my family like that. And sometimes I also use it to communicate with my relatives which resides in China.
Okay. So at very young age po ba, do you usually use po Mandarin language?
At young age, it was less used, but as I grow up, I use it more often since like in China. They only sometimes use Hokkien language in communicating. So the main language right now in China, which is the Mandarin.
So the main language that our Mandarin speakers is used for usually is Mandarin language na po, not Hokkien.
For standard.
Okay. So for Hokkien, it's for like internal lang po siya, like sa home.
Yeah, sa home lang. With family.
Okay, that is one of that po, sir. So yun po, thank you so much for the clarification po, Mr. Alden. You're currently working in one of the biggest company here in the Philippines po, right? So you use Mandarin language po. Do you have plans na po ba to use Mandarin language or a Mandarin job? I mean, after you graduated, you have plans na po ba to use Mandarin?
Actually, I was not expecting or even planning right from the start when I was applying for a job. Eventually lang, kita ko na there's opportunity na naman for a Mandarin job. Like, ang dami kasing nakikitang benefits, not just for me, but for many people out there which are the Chinese. So I think they needed us, like a Chinese speaker, so that we could communicate properly and to give what they really wanted or needs.
So wala ka pong plans to use Mandarin language po sa work noong
Before, yes.
Okay po. So, kailan niyo po na-find out na you can use Mandarin language po sa work?
Nung na-apply na ako ng first job ko sa Mandarin. Actually, it was in 2019. Almost 2 years siya. Hindi naman siya 2 years na. I was hired in February 2019. And by the time I resigned for Mandarin Life, it was November 2020.
So, you use Mandarin din po, no? Sa first job niyo po?
Sa Mandarin Life, although we use Mandarin naman, pero in certain situations lang. Hindi siya mas like yung job ko dito sa Philippines. Yes, mas ginagamit na siya.
Okay po. So, when you graduated po in the year of 2018, sir, nahirapan po ba kayo maghanap ng work po?
At first, it was a yes. sobrang konti yung nag-hire ng tao. So, I have to wait talaga almost 3 to 5 months sa mga fit na ako nakahanap with the referral of my friend.
Okay po. So, mas madali po bang makahanap ng Mandarin job or English job lang?
As of right now, what I think is there are many English speaker right now, especially here in the Philippines. And for me, since selected lang or very few lang talaga ang nakakaalam ng Mandarin language. So, like sabihin natin, sa Philippines, population in the Philippines, there are only, I think, 10 to 20% lang talaga na nakakaalam sa Mandarin language. So, ayun, it is a good opportunity talaga for other Mandarin speakers who are seeking for a job.
So, when did you find out po na marami na po palang mga Mandarin openings dito sa Pilipinas?
Ayun po, right when I started my job. Started my job in Mandarin.
Doon niyo po nalaman na
there are many openings
for Mandarin. There are a lot of opportunities for Mandarin speaker here in the Philippines. Okay, that's good to know po. So, in your workplace po right now, in one of the biggest financial company po, you use Mandarin rarely po or usually?
Saan po?
Sa current work.
Current work, mas often po siya ngayon. From my job talaga to communicating with my senior analysts or subject matter experts na analysts. I have to use Mandarin talaga to communicate with them kasi they are from China. I think it's Beijing, China. So we have to use Mandarin para makapag-communicate and they do not understand Hokkien talaga.
So mas madalas niyo pong gamitin ang Mandarin language.
Yes.
Okay po. So yun po sir, one more last question po. How do you describe for yourself? Are you a Chinese or a Filipino?
Okay, that's a tough question.
Yes.
So in terms na since I was born here in the Philippines, there are many cultures here in the Philippines that I have already adopted. So, sabihin natin, the Chinese culture, kasi it is already custom to us. Kasi, Chinese po kami.
Yes,
so, I would only describe myself as a Chinese and a Filipino. Yes.
Okay. So, for Filipino, like the culture na po of Filipino.
Yes.
So yun po, thank you so much for answering all of my questions po, Mr. Denni. Nasagot na po lahat ng mga questions namin. And for sure, a lot of viewers po, they get some idea of how important Mandarin is to your culture po and to our Filipino-Chinese culture. So guys, I know you're satisfied to the answers of Mr. Dennison regarding his background po. For the next video po, we will tackle about on how Mr. Dennison got a job during the pandemic. So keep on watching po.
Hi, Mr. Denni. Nice to finally meet you in person, no? So I'll be asking basic information that our viewers are very curious. So the first question is, what do you do right now? I mean, what's your job? Ano pong work natin?
So, I'm Mandarin content analyst now. We are a pioneer team in Manila. We're just learning pa lang in the process kasi bago pa lang kami. Right now, we're collecting the informations of the company itself.
I understand. So, is it a hard job or challenging? Which one po?
At first, it was very challenging and confusing talaga. I learned from it from my colleagues and my trainers also. Time by time, na-adapt pa rin naman siya. And eventually, masanay rin.
I understand. Did you have a related experience in doing that job or that task? Or is it really a whole new world for you?
Actually, it was a whole new world for me.
Kasi very new.
Yeah, very new lang talaga siya. And actually, there are many terms that used in our job is rarely used in the daily conversations. And like yung mga business terms talaga, we cannot learn it here in the Philippines unless kung tinuruan talaga sa iba.
So, you are currently working from home right now. So there is no team leader on site that you can ask questions, no? So how did you manage? Since you don't have any working experience related to it, it's your new job, you got the job during COVID. So paano po kayo nakikipag-communicate with your team leader, with your coworkers?
Right now we're communicating through social media, which is the Microsoft Teams. So every meeting or questions, we could chat them or video calls like that or voice calls. So ayun, doon kami nagko-communicate.
Okay, so your current company po is very supportive.
Yes.
Very supportive to their work from home employees.
Yes.
So when you have an emergency, are they accessible? Can you contact them right away or it's challenging?
It is quite challenging. Since everyone is very busy naman. So once they are busy, some of them will accommodate you immediately. Kasi yun na. They are the experts there already. So some of them naman talaga, right, kunyari, busy talaga, or sometimes, like sabihin natin, naka-leave sila and they didn't able to inform you regarding on their leaves. Ayun, mahirapan ito.
But all of them are very,
Yes.
can be accessed anytime.
Yes.
So that's really good because a condition of the company is very important, yung working environment, even work from home, no? I understand. So my next question would be, you're currently working from home. So what are the advantages of working from home and working on-site or going to office every day? Ano po yung mga advantages and disadvantages?
So the advantages is the flexibility of time. Lahat ng oras, hawak mo talaga. And it is manageable. Plus, di mo na kailangan papunta dun sa working site talaga mismo. And mas less stressful siya talaga. So, in terms of naman, on working on site naman kasi, kunyari, pag pupunta ka dun sa working site, ang layo ng biyahe. And right, pagpunta mo lang dun, pagod ka na. Tapos mag-work ka pa mismo.
Pagpasok mo po,
Yes.
mukhang uwian na.
Yes po.
I understand. So does it mean po ba pag work from home, mas may work-life balance? Mas relaxing?
Yes.
So there's more to life. Okay, I understand that. And Kurt, so let's talk about probably the recruitment process, no? So in this company, this is one of the biggest financial companies in the Philippines. How did you apply to that company?
Actually, it was through JK.
Okay, so it was through JK. So how did the recruiter explain the job? Was she very detailed in explaining the job or hindi po?
At first kasi, like, nung nag-apply ako for a job through JK, tinanong niya po ako kung ano ba yung interest ko or yung mga job yung job interest ko or apply. So, ayun, binigay ko lang yung informations and they gave me, the first job.
Wow! So your job preference po would be work from home and probably day shift?
Yes.
And what else po? I mean, do you have a specific line of business or a specific line of job that you want to apply? Like is it accounting, finance, or research?
At first, before I was applying for the job, I was interested in building my own businesses. Dapat. But ayun na, as advice from my parents, sabi nila, I am inexperienced as of now. Kasi ayun na, diba? I only graduated for only 2 years and don't have any exposure in the community mismo. Ayun. So sabi niya, why not apply for a job? Learn some more experience before doing what you want or building your own business.
I understand that. So, during the process po pala, you were able to explain your career path dun sa interviewer or dun sa recruiter na nag-handle sa'yo. Okay, and did the recruiter send you a lot of job openings or one opening lang po yung sinend niya?
Actually, ano siya, hindi naman siya totally na madami, pero part by part siya. So, inuna na po yung before
Other companies.
Navigation of other companies.
Okay, so parang you were given an option of what to prioritize.
Yes,
okay, so that's good. So let's talk about the probably interview with your current company. Was it smooth sailing? Yung turnaround time mo ba matagal before you land a job? What was the first process?
What I would say is, for my first job, actually medyo matagal na siya. Compared to my
other job applications.
Yes po. Okay naman siya. The working environment is pretty okay talaga.
Good. Like
so,
10
I'm
over
satisfied 10. kahit medyo matagal.
Medyo matagal. Was it alam 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or 1 month?
I think it was almost 1 month.
1 month in the process. So, initial interview, HR interview, and final interview and language assessment. So, ganun po katagal. Pero after 1 month, you started working na. So, parang
there's hindi naman talaga totally. May time interval pa siya. Like, alam ko na accepted ako, pero may time interval pa before yung start date ng job post.
I understand. Probably because of the process, no? They have to get the job offer. They have to get probably a budget for the salary. That's why sometimes it takes so long. But I'm happy that the 1 month lang. Normally po, some applicants are applying 3 weeks to 2 months. Especially pag big clients. Sometimes there are a lot of processes they have to undergo. So this is my next question. I know many of you have been waiting. Is the interview conducted in English or in Mandarin?
So, bali, there were English interviews and part of which may Chinese pa naman. Like, dun sa face-to-face interview, may Chinese po talaga siya to assess yung Chinese proficiency. And the other thing is through mga like yung parang exam ata nila.
I understand. Is it listening, speaking, reading, writing? Did they ask you to type something?
Actually, all of them.
So lahat ng skills.
Yeah, you need to learn. They need to assess you with your listening, speaking, and also from the writing. So,
how about the topic? Was the topic hard or in general lang naman?
There was an easy one naman, like yung mga general terms. Pero like, kunyari, pag binigay na kayo ng mga terms na that are lessly used in communicating or like business terms that we are not exposed with, ayun din kami mahirapan.
I understand. So, how did you pass the assessment po in Chinese? Did you prepare? What did you do to pass that?
Actually, I don't prepare for it.
What preparations did you do po?
So, since Chiang Kai-shek College is Chinese school, we do expose to some Chinese business terms. So, I do review some of them, and some of which I do remember the terms. So, actually, it was quite easy on some part, pero on some part talaga.
I understand. So, what is the remarkable question to you po during the interview?
Questions like in the exam or?
In the example, nung sa Chinese.
Mostly on accounting terms talaga siya.
So, you really have to prepare for the accounting translation. But can it be found online? I mean, is it self-taught or?
Actually, it can be self-taught naman. You can search for it in searching engine.
So, parang the preparation is the key in order to pass that. But are you an accounting or finance graduate?
No, I was an entrepreneurship.
But your job has finance in it.
Yes.
Like how many percent?
Half of it or most of it.
But are you aware in the Philippines, financial related bilingual possessions are the most and highly paid? If you have, of course, around 3 to 10 years work experience, it's one of the highest paid position in the Philippines.
Actually, I have no exposure or any intellect on that.
Not aware on that yet.
Yes.
But in the Philippines, it's the most in demand, IT and finance. So I'm really happy that you're in the finance, finance career path. So okay, so I know you're very curious on the recruitment process. So let's ask Mr. Denni one last question. Is it easier to apply if you have a recruitment partner like JK Network or applying on your own?
So, I have tried both. May kilala ko dun sa company mismo. And find it way easier when applying through JK talaga. Actually, pagka mag-apply ka lang mismo, magpapasa ka ng resume to the company itself, it takes time and actually it is more stressful talaga. So, I'm very grateful for JK.
I understand. When you apply on your own, Kuba, and of course there are a lot of job posting sites, right? And you send your resume, do you get reply as soon as possible?
No. Actually, no.
None at all sometimes?
Yes, none at all.
Pero pag kay JK po, you can ask them to follow up your application.
Yes.
You can ask them to help you complete the requirements. Can you follow up with the company? And of course, JK Network also can help in a lot of things like requirements completion, asking a lot of follow-ups every day. So how about the JK recruiters reply? Do they respond to you as soon as possible?
Yes.
Very responsive po ba o may time limit?
Actually, actually at one time talaga na sobrang mga evening na, right around 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Nagre-reply po sila na may job offer na or accepted ka na, like that.
Yeah. I understand. So that's very good. So do you still remember your recruiter po?
Yes, si Miss Ellie.
So how was she? Is she accommodating? Does she give you all the information? Does she prepare you for an interview?
Yes po, she is very accommodating, and right before nung nagpa-interview ako, she already informed me of what kind of interview talaga yung bibili ni representative.
So binigyan niya po ng parang what to expect during the interview. Wow, very good recruiter, Miss Ellie. Okay, and of course, we're very happy and very thankful na finally you landed the job. And according to Miss Ellie, you landed the job in just 1 month, which is sometimes very quick. Kasi given there are a lot of big companies that we're partnering with, it takes a lot of time talaga. Approval of job offer, getting the start date. But according to Miss Ellie, you were able to land a job in just 1 month. So that's the reason why we invited you. So let's ask about the job condition, no? You mentioned that you're very happy with the job that you have. Can you please let me know the top 1 priority? Why do you think you're in a good company right now?
First thing is my team. My team is very accommodating. And they are willing to help you if you have any doubts or questions. And another thing is, I think my team is encouraging you to grow talaga. Not just as an analyst talaga, but they are encouraging you to pursue for higher positions talaga.
Wow! So I'm really very happy to hear that. So let's hear one last statement from Mr. Denni. So if there are a lot of Filipino who can speak Mandarin, what would be your recommendation to them if they are looking for a job?
I think if they wanted to have an easier application and a more accommodating one, you could apply through JK. Yes.
Okay, and Mr. Denni, thank you very much for your time. I know this is a very productive conversation. If you're applying, please apply to JK Network Services and your recruiters will respond to you even at 8 to 12 midnight. Okay, so I know that everyone is satisfied, so I'm very thankful and see you on our next segment. Mr. Denni, thank you so much. Goodbye!
Denson, it's time for a mini ice break. We'll ask a few questions related to culture, characteristic, beliefs, and you have to answer if it's Pinoy or Chinoy. Pinoy stands for Filipino and Chinoy for Chinese. Okay, so let's start. So first question, naturally good in math. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy? Okay, second question. Parents will decide the college or school of their children. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy? Okay, question number 3. Arranged marriage. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy? Okay. So for question number 4, business-minded people. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy? Okay. So for question number 5, religious. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy?
I cannot answer that.
We're okay with Filipino.
That's alright po.
And more practical. Practical when it comes to money or budgeting. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy?
I cannot answer that also.
Why? Why are you having a hard time to answer that?
Actually, I do find some Filipinos also that are also practical with the budgeting. Yeah.
So both. Okay. And
Okay. So for question number 7, masipag mag-aral. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy?
okay na sir, we understand.
I cannot understand. I cannot answer that also.
More studious na lang.
Yeah, it is more. It is dependent on the people itself. Actually, I do find Chinese that are not diligent with their studies also. But I do find some Filipinos also that are very diligent with their studies.
I understand.
Okay. So for question number 8, mas masarap gumawa ng siomai at siopaw. Is it Pinoy or Chinoy?
Filipino made or okay.
Well noted po. So, for question number 9, strict parents, is it Pinoy or Chinoy?
There's no answer for that since Chinese parents are also strict also. But I do find some Filipino parents also. They are saying that their parents are also very strict.
So both.
Yeah.
Okay, eto. This is a hard question. Mahilig sa reunion. Okay. Number 11. Which one po uses traditional medicine? Chinoy. And sinong ang mas mapamahiin? In English, with superstitious. Believes in a lot of superstition. Like pungsoy, duwende.
Actually, both.
Both. I agree. And this one, who or which one is more family oriented?
I think both. Yeah, I think both.
I think in different ways, right? And this one, everyone is curious. Which one has great wall in relationship?
Great wall?
But are you aware of the term?
Yeah. Great wall. That's a difficult question. I think it's
Chinoy. Okay, I got it. And this one was the last question. Do you like Filipino food or Chinese food? We understand. We like Chinese food too.
Actually, I do like both of them.
Which one is your probably most favorite Filipino food? Filipino dish?
At first, I hated sinigang.
The sour.
Because of
Sinigang.
sourness. But eventually, I do like it.
Sinigang, what meat?
It depends. I do like sinigang ng hipon or sinigang ng baboy. But because I don't eat beef kasi. So it's either baboy or hipon.
Baboy and hipon. Okay. So for Chinese food naman po, Mr. Denson, what is your most favorite Chinese food?
Chinese? There are many. But for my favorite Chinese food, I think because I don't like every food that so yeah, I cannot answer.
What's your favorite Chinese restaurant?
Chinese restaurant?
For my reference.
Chinese
Is
restaurant.
Lido a Chinese restaurant?
Chinese restaurant. There are many Chinese restaurants. Yeah.
Do you have particular?
No.
Parang lahat.
Yeah, if it is delicious, then I go for it.
But sa bahay po nyo, dahil nga Chinese house, the dishes are served Chinese food? Chinese food. Wow, so may susan din po kayo yung umiikot.
Ano?
Hindi na mo ba uso yun?
Yeah.
Di ba kasi ganun yung mga Chinese? I understand. So sir, thank you so much. Are we good?
Yes.
Thank you so much, Mr.